Welcome to Sib Spot. Today's stories are from Today I Effed Up. Our first story is by Caveoff 31415. Today I effed up by giving someone thumbs up while I passed them in the slow lane. I can be an angry driver, so to work on that, I've started giving people thumbs up instead of the middle finger. It helps me have a better attitude, and I find myself being frustrated less when driving, when I don't let anger be my reaction. Well, today that backfired on me. Although, who knows what would have happened if I escalated to a middle finger. I was driving behind two cars in the fast lane on my way home from grocery shopping with my young son. The slow lane was wide open, and the truck in front in the fast lane was driving just under the speed limit. So I changed lanes and passed on the right, giving my usual courtesy thumbs up as I passed the truck. A couple miles up the road, I get into the left turn lane and am stopping for a red light. Well, that truck wasn't turning and they had a green light, so they were going 60 to 65 miles per hour as they drove past me. They threw a live shotgun shell at my truck as they passed, hitting the flat back window of my pickup right beside my son's head. It was so loud my ears were ringing and my son started crying. Luckily, the window didn't break and we're both fine now. But darn, I was fuming when I saw the shell and realized that's what he threw at me. I reported them to the police, who said they will check the cameras at the intersection. So fingers crossed that there's consequences for them. As someone who doesn't spend a lot of time around guns or ammunition, I did not know that you could throw a live shotgun shell at somebody and it would, fire itself. I had no idea. And I'm pretty old, so I feel dumb for not knowing that, but I don't spend a lot of time with ammunition or weapons. And this here is yet another incident of road rage. You have to be careful because you don't know what people are going through in their lives, and people are losing their minds lately. People get killed for less than this. Our next story is by Caribou. Today I effed up by accidentally announcing I'm pregnant. As some of you may know, it's Father's Day tomorrow in the UK. So as tradition goes, I got my dad a Father's Day card. No harm done, right? Wrong. I, being the absolute comedian I am, decided to get my dad a card aimed at grandfathers because he's old and I wanted to rub it in his face. So my day starts off normal. I visit my parents, I drop off the card and a present for the old man, and I go off on my merry way. What I didn't know was that my dad decided to open the card a day earlier and proceeded to take it completely the wrong way. Not even an hour ago, I look at my phone and I have 10 missed calls from my dad and 7 from my mom, accompanied by text messages from my mom asking if I was pregnant and if it was an accident or not. Confused, I called her and she demands to know the answer. Before I could even get a word in, she just starts whooping in joy, shouting about how she can't wait to be a grandma and how my dad hasn't stood up or even moved after reading the card. I had no idea what she was talking about until she mentioned the card that said Grandpa on it. They had both assumed that that was my way of announcing that I was pregnant with my first child. I immediately just burst into laughter, barely able to get my words out. My mom flabbergasted, trying desperately to find out why I was currently dying down the phone. I managed to get my composure and tell her that I was in fact not pregnant and was simply pointing out that Dad is old. After explaining, my mom was understandably disappointed, but also did find the humor in the card and agreed that my dad's hair did look like the top of Mount Everest. My dad finally stood up and called me every swear word he could think of whilst defending his hair, stating it was a fashion statement. He did say thank you for the card, though. This person mentions they're in the UK, but that can't prepare you for some of the terms that they use in this. I had to read through them and make sense of it and translate for people who might be in the USA or Canada. There's parts in here that say, taking the absolute mick out of, and that's not a phrase I've even heard of before. Our next story is by Depressed Popoto. Today I messed up by unknowingly telling someone they parked like a jerk. This just happened today on my way to work. I work a 12-hour shift at night, so I always stop at a coffee shop on my way to work to get myself an iced coffee. I always go inside because I have a reusable cup that I use. As I park, I'm going inside and I notice that the Audi that is parked next to me is parked across 2 parking spaces. I noticed this guy coming out of the cell phone store next door and just say, "Wow, I wish I could park like a jerk like this guy." Then the guy says to me, "Yeah, I park like a jerk all of the time." I said to him, I think I'll start parking like a jerk tomorrow." I am very socially awkward, and social cues do not really read well with me sometimes. I don't think I'm neurodivergent, but I can't say for sure. I thought we were having playful, stranger banter. I kind of chuckle and go inside to get my coffee. I come out about 5 minutes later and the guy is still there and he asks me if I have a light. I said I don't smoke, sorry, and he says to me, "You should take that up tomorrow too." I watched this guy go to the Audi, unlock it, get a lighter out of the car. I was so embarrassed that I had literally called this stranger a jerk to his face. I just kind of squeaked out to him, "Okay, have a great day," and quickly left for work. I was laughing on my way to work because wow, just wow. Don't worry about it. You said exactly what we all want to say to these people, or at least what we're all thinking. A lot of us won't say boo to the person, but it's really inconsiderate to park across 2 spaces, and people do it all the time and just say, F everybody else. Our next story is by Pingu3101. Today I messed up by setting up my wife's new phone. My wife has a Galaxy S20 Ultra, and we bought an S23 Ultra for her. She's not tech savvy, so she asked me to do the transfer. Now, my wife is absolutely horrendous at managing her storage. She has a 128 gigabyte S20, which is 99.9% full. It does not even let you take pictures sometimes because it's too full. So when we were using the Samsung Smart Switch app to transfer from her old phone to her new, for some reason it said that her old phone was too full and we needed to make up 1 gigabyte or something. So she said I could delete a few apps. I deleted Audible and another app, I can't remember. Then I deleted Cam Scanner. I rarely use Cam Scanner, and I only used it way back when Samsung phone cameras did not have the scan function. Turns out that my wife still used it despite her phone being able to properly scan items. She used it a lot. She recently went back to her home country and scanned a lot of pictures of her grandparents and other pictures that are dear to her. Now, one thing that I did not know is that Cam Scanner does not save items on your own gallery or anything. It has its own storage area. It also has a cloud storage, so all good, right? Well, according to my wife, all the pictures she had scanned were not saved. They had a small red X and warning that said that they did not have any space to save those pictures, but she somehow could still see them. I don't really understand that part. She never bothered to clear up or back up her photos ever. Most of her storage are videos and photos that I have repeatedly asked her to back up on the computer, but she refuses. Anyways, she said that these pictures were kind of in limbo, accessible on Cam Scanner but not able to be saved anywhere. I immediately reinstalled Cam Scanner and it started syncing right away. And she recovered all the documents on there, except the ones she scanned that did not save properly. She is extremely mad at me right now. She just up and left her phone and went to bed. She said she is extremely angry at me because I did not ask her, and she's 100% right. I effed up big time. I never in all my life expected a scenario like that. I've contacted Cam Scanner and asked, and I'm looking everywhere, but r/tech support is currently private, so I can't ask there. I've emailed them and contacted them on Facebook. Her cloud storage shows nearly empty with only 60 megabytes or so used, so I don't understand the whole "there's no storage space available" if it in fact was storing on the cloud. If not, why? I have no idea what to do. I apologized multiple times and I feel absolutely horrible, but the more I say I'm sorry, the more annoyed she gets. I don't know what to do. I posted this story for 2 reasons. One reason is you didn't really F up. You told her multiple times to back up these pictures and she chose not to. That was her choice. So this is her fault. She also handed you her phone and said you can delete some apps and she didn't say which ones or tell you this one you can, that one you can't. This is on her. 100% it's on her. However, somebody did post something that is actually super helpful in case this sort of thing ever happens to somebody again. Down in the comments, Pigeon on Drugs says, "Well, I see what happened. I don't think you have any major responsibilities here when she told you to delete things. A warning about important apps should have been given. Now, tech help side. 100% of the things you view at least once on your phone as pictures are saved. If you have any idea of the time period she scanned them, you can download Disk Digger from the Play Store and just scan for items to recover." This one was highlighted because it's a super helpful post, and it probably helped a lot of other people get some pictures back. And the original poster for this story actually downloaded Disk Digger and had the dates that they were talking about, and they got some of the pictures back, which is better than none. So just helpful in case anybody ever runs into that again. That's it for today's stories. Until we meet again, have a charitable day.